Hey everybody, welcome back. It's a new day of The Binding of Isaac. Yesterday, we lost. Wednesdays are for losers, dude. Thursdays, all we do is win, win, win no matter what. I don't know any of the other lyrics. They never play more than that when I go to sporting events. WGXM M10P. Don't even want to try to come up with an acronym there. No acronym required. Can I want to talk video games, okay? Is that all right? If on this podcast we talk about some video games? You know, I've espoused the opinion periodically, not always, but periodically in the past, that we live in a golden age of video games from the consumer standpoint. Some people disagree with me. They always point to stuff that is, in my opinion, a bad faith argument. They go, oh, really? We live in a golden age for consumers? Well, why does it cost me $900 to buy every Caveira outfit in Rainbow Six Siege? To which you reply, oh, well, you know, you bought the game once for $60 4 years ago and have been playing it ever since. If you want the team to continue to work on this and not pump out another sequel that'll cost you $60, they have to offer DLC to people who are interested in purchasing it for a premium that can allow the developers to keep functioning, and they go, no! Anyway, I felt that today. So Forza Horizon 4 released a new Battle Royale mode for cars. You race to... you start in a Mini Cooper. I have not played it yet, just for the record. You start in a Mini Cooper. Every time you get to a checkpoint, like I think the way it works is like hotspots appear on the map. If you're the first person to drive through it, it's like finding loot. You can upgrade your car, you can switch to a faster car, etc., etc. Then, if you like get in close contact with another car, you race them, and the first person to get to the finish line on like a short sprint lives. The other person gets all your upgrades. That's the way I understand it working. By the way, it should tell you something about the Forza community, that in spite of that mode coming out, the entire Forza subreddit is just overwhelmed, not with anything related to that, but instead photos of the Toyota Supra Twin Turbo, which also came out in the game today, apparently. So I said, I gotta check this out. I've been advocating for more Battle Royales. I actually don't mind opening that, to be honest. And Battle Royales in non-shooter context for a while. It would be hypocritical of me not to peep it, right? But there's one problem. I don't own Forza Horizon 4. This is where the bit comes back on itself, and I start to talk about how blessed we are as video game consumers in the modern era. Please land a shot. There we go. Forza Horizon 4, Standard Edition, $80 Canadian. A very normal price for a AAA video game. However, you can play it for free if you have Xbox Game Pass. Xbox Game Pass is like $7 Canadian a month. Already, you're like, oh my god. If I only play the game for a month, I've already saved 90%. I have to play this game for 12 months in order for it to be a better cost to purchase than it is to... or a better cost to purchase than it is to rent. Yeah, I said it right. Don't get in my head. However, there's also a promotion going on right now where you get 3 months of Xbox Game Pass for $1. Not $1 each, I believe. $1 for 3 months. So instead of paying $80 to check out this mode, which admittedly is just a terrible value proposition, I probably would not have done it. But instead of paying $80 to try out the mode, I'm paying $1. I get access to this critically acclaimed game for 3 months minimum, and then after that it's $5 extra a month. Now rest assured, you know, I understand the foibles and the concerns with the you know, games as a service model. As someone who has been a paying subscriber of Photoshop for like, you know, 7 years maybe, I mean, I definitely have spent more to rent Photoshop than I would have spent to just buy it. However, Photoshop ain't going nowhere. The odds of me still playing Forza Horizon 4 in 7 years and being like, man, this game cost me $300, pretty low / there's no chance. Hold on, we gotta be real cautious here. It's such a temptation, dude. I think we should take it. It might leave me at... Okay, basically I can get hit once without dying. Hold on. Where's my Whore of Babylon? There it is, okay. But I want to now use our only key. I know the item room's there. Well, let's see. If this has a bunch of spirit hearts, I might feel differently about it. Okay, now that I have some HP, I'll probably come back and go to this room instead. But I thought about going to the shop at first. Now I will go try to look for a bomb somewhere so we can actually pick that up. Very dangerous. We gulped a trinket. I don't remember what it was. You know, you're not paying $5 a month. I mean, to be fair, I may cancel Game Pass. Keep in mind, I accidentally spent like $80 on Sea of Thieves because I got a month free trial with Game Pass and then just forgot to cancel it last year. I recognize the stupidity there. Is that where they get you? Yeah, that's probably part of where they get you. But it's a little hypocritical because I don't know how many of my subscribers are people who have just forgotten that they subscribe to me. Don't get me wrong, I had a diehard community of fans as well. But I do wonder, you know, I've been on Twitch a long time. I'm like, I wonder how many paying subscribers have just forgotten. Or, alternatively, once a month, they see their credit card statement and they're like, well, I could cancel this, but maybe it's worth $5 just to not have to log into Twitch and cancel it. Either way, I appreciate it. I'm putting the money to good use over on my end. Thank you so much for your support. You know, you also get other games. Now, do I have an interest in the other games? No, not really. Not right now, at least. But perhaps one day, I'll be like, dude, I gotta play some Gears. I want a... well, here's the thing, okay? Fair enough. Buying a Spirit Heart is like buying a bomb. For 5 cents, I get to preserve the amount of HP that we would have had if we had used the bomb to just get this. So I think that's totally fine. It's still... The run is of a modest level of spice, but it's still going just fine. You know, I mean, that was only our second floor. HP is... I mean, I think you would say realistically we're probably at about Blue Baby's base level of HP. Maybe, like, literally there, because we could never fill that bone heart. But substantially improved damage. Bob's Brain is actually, like, really good if you are paying attention. If you're not paying attention, yeah, it can get you into a bit of a mess, but... That's why I say that we live in a golden age for game consumers, you know? I feel like, I don't know, I disagree with a lot of cynicism from the consumer standpoint in games. You might say, yeah, but what about, like, the fact that some games are Epic exclusive? I gotta download a new launcher to play this stuff, or for Xbox Game Pass, I gotta download the Xbox app or the Microsoft Game Store. It's $1 for 3 months. In 2004, I paid like $10 to rent a bad video game for 3 days. That was the market price. This is not meant to be like a back in my day bit. It's just like, yo, I have Forza for like 98% off. That's a smoking deal, okay? You gotta recognize the good when it comes. Is there some badness? I don't know. Is there some badness? Feel like between... Well, okay, here's the badness. There's way too many subscription services now. Which is why Game Pass feels sort of okay, I think. Because it is a platform holder and not a publisher. I think that's where I've chosen to draw the line. Because I know, you know, EA has their own EA access. Ubisoft has their own Ubisoft Premier program or whatever the heck it's called. That is like, is a step too far for me. It's kind of, it's the same reason. I recognize, you know, Disney controls a staggering amount of the box office. but it's one of the reasons that I've been so hesitant and have not, as of yet, gotten Disney Plus, is, you know, it feels like I'm paying $10 or $8 a month just for Disney stuff. I know that Disney stuff also means, you know, Marvel and, you know, they have a catalog of like 80 years, but for me, I really thought we were doing the greatest dodges of my career there. For me, I'm like, I don't really want to download a bespoke app exclusively to watch, you know, one network's programming. I've made one exception for that, and it's HBO. But HBO in Canada also comes with the movie channels. Were it not for the movie channels, I probably would no longer be subscribed to HBO, even though HBO makes great stuff, just because of that very simple fact that it, you know, it's not even necessarily the money. It's the hassle of just like a single network requiring its own launcher, television network, etc., etc., its own line item on the credit card bill. It's just too much. Okay, that was not the item I was looking for. I think you could probably divine that for yourself. Let's try. Okay, that was just terrible timing, but this could help us on a future floor. We could definitely, like, I would love to get tarot cloth. But we did, getting the key was good, so we can at least get to the item room, and Parasitoid Tears is very nice. Anyway, I don't begrudge you either way. That's just, I maybe once every couple of months, normally in Isaac episodes, I like to let you know that, you know, my personal opinion about anger online is, you know, when I see that end consumers are angry, that's one thing. When I see, you know, YouTube channels, not so much Twitch streamers, honestly, but when I see YouTube channels getting angry and trying to make their audience angry as well, I'm like, they're selling you an emotion. They're selling you on the anger philosophy. And I think that it short circuits the logic part of your brain from time to time. That's just, you know, I'm just throwing that out there. Well, we are sunk as far as self-improvement goes here, and that's okay. We didn't go into our self-sacrifice room, though. What do you got? Oh, dude, that's so good. That, honestly, might have, like, completely changed the way that this run's gonna go. I don't think we were at immediate risk of death regardless, but this not only gives us some safety, but it gives us the ability, if we come across a really, really great deal with the devil, to take advantage of that. So that's very nice. Just be cool here. I would not describe that as being cool. What I would say is thank the Lord that we did actually get those demon hearts. Otherwise, we would feel very endangered right now. I still think we've played pretty well on this run, to be honest with you. I think it's a folly and a foolish pursuit to expect perfect play in Isaac, you know, especially while talking. These are, to me, relatively realistic mistakes, so we can't be too bummed out about with our current level of statistics. Alright, we freed a lot of money there. I can get down with that. Now if we get a key, 2 of diamonds allows us to get to 22 cents minimum. Obviously, we would like to get even more, but we got a long way to go before we can figure out whether or not that's going to happen. I'm going to go ahead and call it. We're 1 tiers upgrade away from a pretty easy victory, I think. A defensive item wouldn't hurt either. How did you live? You were like in the bone blind spot up here the whole time. I think we're going to be A-okay. Anyway, that's just my 2 cents. I don't want to say I'm annoyed, but I will say that immediately after being like, whoa, dude, what a smoking deal on Forza Horizon, a game that I've heard is awesome, and I can play it with a controller. Let's just try it. But I could also play it with this Logitech steering wheel that I've got that I haven't used since... you know, playing Spin Tires Mud Runner. Although I still think that the wheel is fantastic. Look, the HOTAS that I bought, it will get used when Microsoft Flight comes out. But it was a little bit more of a that was a purchase that is not very practical for me. At the same time, the HOTAS was also 50 bucks, which is pretty cheap for a piece of hardware. The steering wheel, people are like, oh, I bet you regret buying that. Not at all, dude. I already got my money's worth out of that. Everything else from this point onwards is just gravy, and it's not like they're gonna stop making driving games. I'll be the gamer who is always down with the driving games. I always find it hypocritical. It'll probably happen tonight during the Game Awards. Whenever they announce, I'm just going by Twitch chat here, don't shoot the messenger. Whenever they announce like a new game with cars, people are always like, cars, I sleep. Shut up, we have enough racing games. Oh, cars, Kappa. I love cars, Kappa. Meanwhile, if they announce a new game with a gun, people are like, poggers, dude! A gun game! I haven't experienced this since 12 seconds ago. Look, I might be a little bit biased, okay? You're like, I'm not the gun game guy. I'm the guy who goes poggers when they announce a new platformer. I love to press the A button in the exact same fashion I have since the original Mario came out in 1985. I'm just saying, okay? If you are not throwing stones, I'm not throwing stones at you. But if you're going, nobody cares about cars, please show the trailer for Ori and the Blind Forest too. Hey, you seem like an intelligent individual. You have refined taste in digital toys. Why are you being so negative about cars? You know, it's just cars are just a different kind of jumping. Help? Yes. No. Yes. Yes. No. Still, that went pretty well. Wait, can you take my bone hard, please? I don't want it anymore. It just, no, you cannot. It confuses me. Anyway, this was still a pretty good floor for us. Really low on keys, but everything else is going A-okay. Yeah, but every driving game is the same, dude. You just drive. Yeah, every jumping game's the same. You just jump. No, that's where you're wrong. Ori and the Blind Forest has pathos. Sorry, pathos. Hey, dude. F1 2019 has pathos. When Lando Norris passes you, despite the fact that you're supposed to be the #1 driver on the team, just because he got a preferential pit strategy, if you don't feel the adrenaline pumping out of your kidneys, I don't even know if you're alive. Anyway. We don't have to be snobby about games, is what I'm trying to say. Stop getting hit, I'm bad. Hi, bad. You're dead. Not worth it. But you gotta check. Once you get guppy items, especially if you've got a renewable source of demon hearts or defense of any sort, really, you gotta start taking a stab at it. Anti-grab, by the way. I can't say it's been good, but it's clearly not been horrible for us. Most of the time I get anti-grav, I'm immediately like, shouldn't have taken that. This time I'm like, dude, everything's hunky-dory. So we must be living in a golden age. We can just take advantage of the tiers upgrade without experiencing the negative consequences. Anyway, that's my 20-minute bit about Forza Horizon 4, which is presently still downloading because it's 75 gigabytes. It has downloaded 56 gigabytes so far. Look, I get it, okay? There was recently a little bit of an uproar. People were talking about being annoyed with game file sizes being so large. I don't disagree. Yeah, I'll take it. It is annoying when you're like, oh boy, I'm so excited to play this game. And then you realize that depending on your internet, you might have like a 10-hour download coming your way. It's a delay in the gratification. I understand the frustration because I'm dealing with it like literally as we speak right now. Even though I have, really fast internet, at this point now there's a bottleneck, somewhere involved on the platform side. It might even be my hard drive write speed. I don't know the specifics that well. This thing, it's getting a little up there in age. Hold on. Yes. Yes. And then probably just, well, okay, I was hoping it was chaos. And it was. It's kind of the way of the world, right? I remember in 2012, Max Payne 3 was like 55 gigabytes. And I was like, this is crazy. I feel like it has not changed that much since then. I've probably downloaded in the last like 7 years 5 games that are bigger than Max Payne 3. I consider that pretty reasonable. I mean, Forza is definitely there. Grand Theft Auto 5 was there. I think that might be it, honestly. Don't really want Demon Baby. I'm trying to think of what else could even be there. And I don't know, sometimes people are like, it's because devs don't even bother to compress their games anymore. And I'm like, I don't know if that's... I have a bias against YouTubers, okay? Because I know them. And a lot of the time, I'm like, I don't think this person knows what they're talking about. I'm sorry to be that guy. I'm not saying all YouTubers are dumb. That's not what I'm saying. What I am saying is that I think perhaps YouTubers have a tendency, myself included, in a huge way. We have a tendency to think that our speculation, for whatever reason, should be taken more seriously than the average person's speculation. And then we justify it by saying things like, well, I've been in this business for a long time, which you've probably heard me say many, many times in the past. Again, I'm not innocent of it. And I don't think people necessarily, well, some people I think they do it, maybe not maliciously, but knowingly. I'm just saying. That's why, you know what I think would be cool is like a podcast that is a YouTuber and a game developer. So I feel like having a game developer on your podcast would give you the kind of insight into that stuff that you as a YouTuber could only speculate. Like, hey, why is your game 95 gigabytes? There's rumors online that, you know, you didn't compress the sound files, dummy. How could you forget something like that? And they're like, well, actually, you know, due to the new compression codec we've used, something, in order to pass certification, something, we literally had no choice, something, and then you'd be like, okay, I get it, I'm stupid, I'll shut up. But I don't think people want to hear that. It's medicine. It's not entertainment anymore. Anyway, I don't even know where I was going. Just give me this. I don't need it. I kept Chaos instead of the Emperor card. I would ask for your blessing in that, because here's the thing. The Emperor card is definitely... oh, we're leaving for sure. I don't even know if we have been to the item room on this floor. We got the red heart that we can't use, right? The Emperor is what we would definitely use if we wanted to merely speed through the run. The Chaos card opens up some possibilities. It may even open up the possibility of going to the Blue Womb, which I have not done in probably a year and a half. I'm not saying it's a guarantee, mostly because I mean, what do you get for going to the Blue Womb? You get 2 items, but they are choices, admittedly. And you get a shop that, in all likelihood, we won't be able to afford anything on. Well, we'll see. I don't know. Maybe we will. It's not. What do you want to do with the Chaos card? Just use it to yeet Isaac in 2 seconds? I'm playing without time constraints right now. I got nothing to worry about. Dude, can I, as long as we're talking about video games, can I tell you a little bit more about my experience with Halo Reach? I played some Halo Reach last night. And I gotta point this out here. I am mediocre at Halo. That doesn't change the fact that when I was 16, I was great. But those skills did not come back in the way that I thought they would. I'm still pretty bad. And it highlighted something for me. Because I got genuinely frustrated playing the game online last night. Not so much on the show. Hope our HP's still fine after that, but off camera I played, you know, for like 45 minutes, and I ended up just being like, I don't think I want to play this for fun anymore. We'll see if I kind of like solo queue because I can just goof around, but and I think that, to be honest, a lot of me getting destroyed. This is not meant to cast blame on anybody in the NLSS. I think when we play with Bear and others, their MMR is higher, and it leads to me just getting absolutely crapped on, which is frustrating from both perspectives, but it does compromise the fun a little bit. That while other people are out there getting like, you know, 15, 20 kills, I'm like, yeah, I went 2 and 13. Very tempted to use the Chaos card on you, to be honest. But, I think what I've realized is it's not only that I'm worse at video games as an adult, there's a positive to take away from it, to be honest. And the positive is very simple. I have so much less tolerance for getting frustrated at video games in, you know, at my, I don't want to say at my age because it makes it sound like I'm 100 years old, but, you know, now that I'm a little bit older, I really thought that would kill us. If I ever get frustrated with a game, I'd mostly just, if I'm playing it for leisure, I just turn it off. Previously, you know, when I was a teenager, yeah, I get frustrated playing Halo all the time. What do? Play some more Halo, because, you know, what else are you gonna do? You got 2 hours till you gotta go to bed. Now, as an adult with, like, other things to do, not just other games to play that I find less frustrating because I have some acumen in them, but I'm like, dude, why am I spending my leisure time getting mad? That's just insane. Like, that's a sign that something's broken deep inside of my soul. So I got a little mad at Halo last night, and then the game went to, like, you know, it was like, hey, we're queuing up for another one. And I went, nah, that's okay. And I went out, and I sat on the couch. And I watched a little bit of Netflix instead. and I felt way better. I can't express enough how much better I felt. I just, I don't know if it's a greater respect for my time now, or if it's just, you know, perspective that life's too short to get angry at leisure stuff, because you got other stuff you can be angry about in your life to begin with. I'm not saying I live like an embittered life. I'm just saying you're like, ah, I can afford it, but why is the dang power bill so high, you know? I can handle it, I just wish that it was cheaper, but also the service provided is very useful. I keep tap shooting like a fool here. I don't know, I had some meditative thoughts on it last night. That was where my perspective went. Dude, okay, I know I said we were gonna do this. I'm just gonna hit, and you're not gonna like this, but I have to be honest on this one. With 9 lives and low HP, I don't want to fight the Hush. Okay? I wish that it were slightly different. I wish that it were a different scenario. If I had like 3 HP, I definitely would have done it, because you only have to fight 1 phase. But I'm not even going to the curse room, and we're 1 guppy item away. So I just don't want to find ourselves in an endless, you know, barrage of getting our butt kicked and being forced to lose all our lives to the Hush. That's where I'm at there. So I hope you'll understand. We will consider it in the future. That's not just empty lip service. Like, genuinely, we did almost do it there. I mean, it's been a year since we even mentioned it. Why would I bring it up if it wasn't on the menu, possibly? Okay. I think we'll just Chaos card Isaac. Get the heck out of town. Yeah, I don't know. That's where I'm at with competitive video games online. But I have to admit, it's complicated, because I really feel like multiplayer video games give you the highest highs and the lowest lows. Like, getting bodied in Halo is pretty frustrating. Like, it conjures negative emotions. On the other hand, absolutely dominating somebody in Halo feels incredible. So it's that It's that complicated, you know, value proposition. You're like, is it worth this much of my misery to experience that little jubilation? The answer is increasingly no for me, but that's why Tetris is great. I think I'm less frustrated than you would expect when I die in Tetris, because I'm like, it's alright, I know the next win is around the corner somewhere. I'm just gonna tell you right off the bat, by the way, I don't know what's killing us on many of these rooms, or hurting us, I should say. I think it's fruitcake combined with anti-grav scatter shots. I think we're in the sort of position where Sure. Where's the heart? I think we're in the sort of position where it really doesn't matter, and basically just in terms of our raw advantages, nothing can stop us, but I hope that that's not a mistake. Like, I'll tell you straight up, that's why I stopped playing Dota. And I think that I had this realization at a good age. You know, I have like 1,000 hours in Dota, which until, you know, even 5 years ago was probably the most hours I had in any game ever. Now I have 3,500 hours in Afterbirth, which is hilarious, given my level of performance in the average video. But I just, you know, sometimes you would have a great night. You would be like, oh, we played 5 games, and I won 5 games. Sometimes you would have like a mixed night. You'd be like, yeah, I won about the same that I lost, but the losses weren't that bad, and the wins were a lot of fun. But then a lot of the time, and this might just be, you know, my personal attitude. Maybe those games are just not meant for me, you know? But, I don't know. I feel like a lot of people are in this boat. A lot of the time, I was like... Even if I won more than I lost, like one loss was enough to be like, everybody on my team's stupid, and I hate this game. And then I just realized that, you know, if your leisure time is making you miserable, something's gotta change. And in that case, what changed was uninstalling that game. I'm not gonna say it led to a marked improvement in my quality of life, but I think I've done... You know, I think I was better off learning how to program than just getting mad at Dota for 3 or 4 hours a night minimum. Please let me fight the boss. I am ready. The game has gotten quite chaotic thanks to Cricket's body. I'm realizing now that was definitely the danger aspect here. We previously had kind of like scatter shots with our, you know, broken bones, but they weren't this scattered. These are just, they're going every which way. Okay, finally. This is a horrible room to finish on, but let's just blanket... That was a terrible approach there. Let's just blanket this side of the map with shots that they cannot pass by. And I honestly, in my heart of hearts, and my sayonara wild hearts, believe that the best approach for us to take here is probably to just use permanent Polaroid invincibility and sacrificial dagger to get this one sorted. Careful. Good Bob's brain. I mean, this was a surgical final boss fight. We did still get a hit, but that was very good. For now, thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, click the like button. Helps the video. Of course, subscribe if you want to see more in the future. For now, thanks for watching. I will see you next time. See ya!